Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear facing, forward facing. I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the fence. Stop up there. Here comes Knight in the next one. See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait. All the baby is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with John Silverberg. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yes, sir. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday to all of you. You are listening and watching us live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Game On, joining you every Thursday. We're a little late tonight. And, of course, Jabba and the Mouth are following us at 7:30. Check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so much more. We're waiting for our host to arrive. Eric is out tonight. He's dealing with a personal matter. Hopefully he'll be back next week. So we have a lot to get to this evening. Of course, Speedy PD on the board as well and everything like that. So I'm going to try to multitask and we will go from there. All right. Leadoff spot right now. Currently, the Dodgers and the Phillies are playing. The Dodgers got to the top of the first. Glasnow got through it. So Christopher Sanchez is starting the bottom of the first. And we will go from there. We'll see if there's a Game 5 in that series. Lots to get into today. We'll get into the Giannis Knicks stuff. And, of course, the breaking news where LeBron James will miss the first month of the NBA season with sciatica nerve damage. So we'll discuss that. And Speedy will throw the picks at us and go our way and everything like that. I'm just confirming new one. There we go. And everything like that. A lot to get to. A lot to discuss. It's going to be a lot of Yankee conversation and a lot of Toronto Blue Jays conversation. That is what it is going to be. And if you live under a rock, well, the truth is, here is what happened last night. We all know it. We all saw it this series. The Toronto Blue Jays, surprisingly, and I had picked the Yankees in 4, And it was the other way around. The Toronto Blue Jays just flat out beat down the New York Yankees and everything like that. They just beat them down and everything like that. Oh, okay. He's in. He's in. There it is.
It wasn't easy.
Well, you spelled Eric's last name wrong. B-O-E. It's B-O-E. You tried. You did try. You did try. You did try. My father, I know. My father, Nelson Silverberg, joining us this evening. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. We discussed it yesterday. Hope everything is going well. We were just getting into, like I said, telling you about the show. We're gonna discuss the Giannis Knicks rumors. We're gonna discuss LeBron James being out the first month of the season. That was breaking news with sciatica nerve damage, and we're gonna get into our. I keep it already. What, week 6? Yeah, it's week 6. I don't know because the Jets are 0-5. I only know the Jets. It's week 6 because the Jets are 0-5 and everything. That's how I know that. But first off, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm sorry I'm late.
Nah,
I'm sorry. The invitation went into the junk folder.
Wow, Speedy. Did you hear that one, Speedy? It went to the spam mail.
Before. I never thought it would happen with you, who's been on the show like 10 times.
Yes,
yeah, you got it.
The first one was in the junk folder, and the second one got into the regular folder. It was kind of weird.
That's crazy. Well, like I said, we're just getting into the Yankees right now and what happened last night. And it was surprising to a whole bunch of different levels. And I know and the Dodgers actually just got through it. So the bottom of the first is done. So they go to the top of the second. Nothing between the Dodgers and the Phillies. But it was surprising last night in regards to how the game went down. Cam Schlittler, basically, he didn't dominate like he did against the Red Sox. He didn't have the whatever it was, 10 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, or anything like that. But what he did do was he kept the Yankees in the ball game yesterday, something that none of the other starters like Luis Gil and Carlos Rodon, and we need to have a discussion about Carlos Rodon at some point, because I've been saying this for years, as have other people. I think Rodon has now pitched in 6 postseason games with the Yankees. I believe he's 1-5 with an ERA of near 7 in those playoff games for the Yankees. And the $218 million man, Max Fried, got lambasted. They got clobbered in this series. They gave them no length. They didn't do any of the sorts. In games 1 and 2, Boone managed very scared. Aaron Boone managed scared in game 1. He felt he was losing it, so he went to that bullpen, and we know the Yankee bullpen is just abysmal. I mean, I had to see Paul Blackburn come in at one point. That was like, all right, well, that's the end of that.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
The first 2 games. So let's take the Fried game and put that aside, because that was just a shock. But the first game that he pulled Gil out after this, was it? I think
was that the second inning? He pitched 2 full innings.
He didn't even pitch 2 full innings, did he?
I remember, Speedy, did he pitch 2 full innings, or was it like 1 2/3? What was it?
I think it was like 2 1/3.
2 1/3. So he did. Okay, so
the point is, by pulling him out, does that give him a better chance of winning that game, or a worse chance of winning that game, knowing the bullpen, plus just beating up the bullpen in the first game of that series? I just thought that was the only bad move that I could say Boone definitely made. Like,
Boone didn't do anything. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but when he pulled Gil out after that first game, he only gave up 2, right? He only gave up 2 runs.
Yeah, it was the 2 runs. He gave up the home run to Vlad in the first. I mean, if you want to say another bad move he made was yesterday, not letting Caballero pinch hit for Volpe. I guess that's the only other bad move you could say, because Volpe just cannot hit.
Volpe was horrible.
I mean, Volpe was just bad. And, when we digest everything and we look at everything, and I think we all were in agreement, at least here on the network, that the Yankees were going to at least get to the ALCS. Especially when you look at the way the roster was constructed for Toronto. No Chris Bassett, he's hurt. Max Scherzer was absolutely atrocious to end the year. He was unpitchable at that point. And Bo Bichette, their second best player, their all-star shortstop, was out. And you think this is advantage Yankees. I know that Toronto, the Rogers Center has become a house of horrors for them. They haven't been able to win. They haven't been able to do anything. It's so crazy right now because Bleacher Report literally just texted me top 10 landing spots for Cody Bellinger. I mean, it's literally like the body just got put in the bag, and it's like, hey, let's get to the next steps now.
Oh, they're doing the same thing with Alonso, right? I mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, it's now I like Aaron Boone. I've always liked Aaron Boone. Speedy knows this. I'm an Aaron Boone apologist. I would take Aaron Boone on my team, and the reason is the Mets have different expectations than the Yankees do. The Yankees make postseason every single season, right? Now they've won one World Series game in the last 16 years, which is incredible, which is just unfathomable to even think about. It's really, when you look at it, you go, wow, 16 years they've won one World Series game, and I can't even fault Boone for this series. I mean, Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero we all know the history with Vlad. He hates the Yankees. And Vlad was going to do everything he could to make sure he was going to make that series miserable for that series. I mean, that fastball by Will Warren is still flying somewhere, that grand slam. I mean, that was the most obvious. I mean, Dave Sims literally said on WFAN, I have a bad feeling about this at bat, Susan. And then the next pitch, he whacked it, and then Sims goes, yep, there it is. And it was just everybody and their mother knew. Toronto was in control because you look at it, Vlad didn't even step out of the box in that at bat, but it was also, if you look at that game too with Yasavage, there was a part where I believe Bellinger called timeout and Yasavage was in his motion or his windup, and he didn't even get out of it. He just stood there. I think we all kind of had when you watch the first two games, and I know the Yankees scored 7 runs, but again, they scored those runs against this bullpen that shut them down yesterday in that game. And Max Fried, one of the highest paid pitchers in baseball, Carlos Rodon is one of the highest paid pitchers in baseball. We watched this. We saw this. We all knew, and we look back, and even in the Boston series, where Game 1, Crochet dominated them, right? And Fried pitched well. And then Game 2, Rodon was so iffy because he got 2 leads in that game, and both times he gave up the lead. But bad defense. Durant dropped the ball in left field, and then that was just bad. It changed the whole trajectory of that series. Boston, but coming into this series, Boston and Toronto's lineups are night and day. Boston they lost Cassius earlier in the year, and they lost, of course, Roman Anthony. So their lineup was pretty iffy at that point. I mean, they overachieved. Alex Cora did a fabulous. I think Alex Cora is one of the best managers in baseball. But you look at what Toronto, even without Bichette, you look at Varsho and Allen and Kirk and George Springer looks like he did 6 years ago. And Clement, the bottom of the Blue Jays order was tremendous this series. It was just, they don't strike out. They put the ball in play. But what was crazy, even I'm watching the game yesterday, and they had a Springer on second, 1 out. And I'm like, I'd walk Vlad. I would just walk him because he hit a home run in the first inning in Game 1. He hits a grand slam in Game 2. He had a home run in the first inning in Game 3. I'm like, I just walk him. And they pitched to him, and then he ripped the ball down the line that got Springer in. I'm just like, I don't understand it. You're just gonna keep pitching to this guy. After a while, if you look at the series, Toronto started to intentionally walk Judge at points in the game because they were not going to let one guy beat him. And I'm going to say this, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, and people are going to get mad. Yankee fans are going to get upset when I say this. This was the series, because other than Judge, nobody did anything. This was the series that, and I know that Toronto blew them out, but even like a Game 4 yesterday where the Yankees missed a Juan Soto because Soto would hit after Judge and before Stanton, and you missed that because Bellinger had a nice postseason, but it wasn't otherworldly like Soto's was last year. Trent Grisham, who had his best regular season of his career, like a career 200 here, did nothing this postseason. Chisholm did nothing this playoff. That's the thing that I think people need to digest and say it stings. But yeah, we really missed Juan Soto in this series. Now, Yankee fans are not going to admit that, and understandably so. They're pissed off at him. I think this was the year where it was kind of like, all right, they're going to deal with it. I think next year everybody's going to move on. I think at that point people will move on. It's already a year in. The only thing that happened was Juan Soto played 7 less games than the Yankees did and got to go on vacation faster. That's really when you look at it in a nutshell. But
see, to me, it was all pitching. I mean, I know what you're saying, but they gave up like 8 runs a game.
Yeah, they didn't give them a shot. They didn't give them even in game 3. Yeah, like game 3.
The second game that they blew them out. You know, there was a point in, I think it was the 7th inning, they had like 2nd and 3rd and 2 out, and it was Judge who was up, and he didn't get the hit.
That was the first game. That was the first game. That was game 1. It was 1 out against Gossman. They were 1 out because it happened when Gossman threw it against Judge. It was the slider, and Judge swung and missed.
No, I think it was the second. It was already a blowout, and then it was before they came back heavy late in the game. But there was a point in the game that they didn't get that big hit, and it would have almost got him back in the game. But the point is the point. No hitting was going to overcome the lack of starting pitching. That Fried game was a disaster. I mean, that was the killer.
And he had to keep him in. They
had to win that game. Yeah, they had to keep him in because of the day before.
Yeah.
You can't go 7 innings of bullpen game, the first game, 7 innings of bullpen the first game, and then what are you going to take Fried out in the third too and get another 6 innings of bullpen again?
Yeah.
You know, it was that first game screwed him up over the second. Not that it mattered because they were losing that second game, but still.
But then it was even so like
what you do in game 1 will carry over into another game because of what you did in that first game.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
You know, these games are related. So that first game, being that he had so many bullpen, carried over and made him sit on Fried longer than he probably would because they were racking him up. I mean, he had nothing. It was shocking, to be honest with you, how bad he was. It was like shocking to me to see Fried pitch that bad.
We all knew how game 3 was going to go, right? Toronto hits home runs galore, and in that ballpark against Carlos Rodon, it's like, okay, your season's hanging on this guy. It's like, good luck. And Toronto, I mean, the third baseman dropped the ball, and that just opened up the floodgates.
That's right.
But, you know, and I did not think the Yankees were going to win game 5. Regardless, I didn't think they were going to win game 5. In my opinion, I thought they were going to still lose because you're going to have Gossman and then you Savage back to back.
Yeah,
I just didn't think the Yankees were going to get there. But losing yesterday was the shock. But now, I'm not going to sit here and say the Yankees. No, Toronto was the better team. Toronto beat the crap out of them this series, bar none.
Yeah.
It's ended discussion. It's over. And now the question is going to rely on, okay, what do the Yankees do in the offseason? Because we're headed for a strike in 2027. Like, the strike's going to happen, and everybody's going to be self-aware of it, and it's going to be a bad strike. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the whole baseball season doesn't even happen in 2027. The strike is going to be bad. So now Yankee fans are thinking, okay, what can we do? Everybody wants to fire Boone, and they want to fire Cashman, and they want to do this, but this was not on Boone. This was not – Aaron Boone lost Juan Soto and lost Garrett Cole before the season started, and they still won 93 games. I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive thing to do.
Well, the Yankees are losing 2 big guys, right? You told me Chisholm is a free agent at the end right now. Chisholm is out.
Chisholm is a free agent, and Bellinger is a free agent. Yep.
So that's basically 2/3 of their real offense, right?
And what I think they will do is what I think they're going to do, my opinion, is this. I think they're going to re-sign both of them, and they're going to hang their hat on Cole coming back next year And I think that's what the team is going to be, because you have Judge's contract stand-ins. You're going to have to pay Chisholm. You're going to have to pay Bellinger. You're paying Fried. You're paying Cole, because the insurance is not going to cover Cole's contract anymore because he's coming back next year. And you have Rodon's contract, which they're going to – Devin Williams, he's going to walk. Williams will walk. In my opinion, Williams will walk. Weaver's going to walk. And Bednar will be the closer, which is fine. But then it's like, so you're essentially bringing back the same team.
Williams is gone.
Williams and Weaver are both free agents, so they're both going to be gone. And
that's a good starting rotation.
I would have let Williams, don't let the door hit you on the way out yesterday, with him saying, I still think we had a very productive, good season. Bro, you lost in 4 games to the division series. It's the Yankees.
He's not a Yankee. That's why.
This is not a productive. It's not a productive season, dude. I mean, the Yankees changed their facial hair rule for you to be comfortable. That's what they did. I mean, that's literally, Trent Grisham's a free agent. They're going to let him walk. I would imagine they'll probably bring up Spencer Jones next year. They'll put him in left field. They'll put Dominguez in center. And I think that's just what they're going to do next year. And
what about Volpe? What are they going to do with this guy? Does he stick?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. I think, because the thing is, everybody's like, oh, but we want to improve at third base. I'm like, well, no. Well, you trade for Ryan McMahon, and McMahon's under contract next year. I don't. This is like, I mean, you didn't trade guys just to make him a bench player, and he's a really good defensive third baseman. Ben Rice is going to be – I think Ben Rice will be the first baseman next year, which he should be. I think he's earned the right to be the first baseman next year. To me, I know Yankee fans are not going to be thrilled about when I hear the Yankee fans, oh, I think we could get Kyle Tucker. Oh, I think we could do – no, it's not happening.
You say they're going to re-sign these guys, but these guys are going to earn money. I mean, both of these guys had very good years.
No, of course. I mean, and the thing is, Bellinger's agent is Scott Boras. It's going to get down to it. The Yankees cannot – Chisholm is a fascinating one, because I think Yankee fans are sick of the way he goes about his business. He's a guy that we're the best team in the American League. We're going to win the World Series, and then he's the one that makes the dud yesterday with the bad play.
It was borderline, but I get it.
No, you got to make that play. You got to make that. And again, he had another bad playoff. It's another bad postseason for him too.
Yes, but he had a great year.
He did.
He had a great year, right? So I'm sick. I talked to Errol. We talked, right? And Errol is.
That is crazy. Yes, my father and Errol did talk. Yes.
Right. And he's a very big anti-Chisholm guy. And it's this Yankee way nonsense. Oh, he's not a Yankee kind of guy. He doesn't fit in. He's not a Yankee. But the numbers speak for themselves. And I challenge you to find somebody who could put up those numbers for next year at second base, because it's going to be really hard pressed to do so. He might have been the second best hitter on the team.
I mean, listen. I agree with you on that one. That's fair to say. I think the Bellinger one is fast. I think they got to bring him back, because now, again, here's my thing with the Yankees. It's a matter of, and I feel bad when I say this. It's like the Yankees just got eliminated terribly yesterday. It's like, oh, that's nice. The Giants get to play football tonight on Thursday Night Football in the possible get-right game for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's nice. That's exactly what Yankee fans want, is watch the Giants. It's bad right now. Bellinger thing is fascinating, because if Bellinger does come back, I think the Yankees have to figure out the story with because Dominguez has to be the left fielder next year. There's no more part-time with him. He's been here for over a year now. You got to let him play. You're going to have to go the Met route. It's the same thing with Vientos and Beatty. You got to see what they are. You want
to hear my scenario? This is my scenario. You ready?
Is it the Yankee scenario? No, the Yankees.
The Mets signed Bellinger.
Okay.
They moved Soto to first base. and have Carson Benj in right field.
Can I tell you? You want to know what I think could possibly? I could see them signing Bellinger and trading Nimmo. I could see that route.
I don't think Nimmo has a lot of value. The problem with Nimmo is that contract is just
it's about $100 million. For a left fielder,
contract.
it's not a big contract.
But he's not a good fielding left fielder.
This is not a Met contract, but the AAV for him is very low.
It's $20 million a year.
That's what makes it, which is low for a left fielder that hits almost 30 home runs a year. What do you want me to say? I mean, that's just what it is. This is what he is. I mean, the Yankees have to figure out Jason Dominguez, and I think we can all agree they're going to bring up Spencer Jones because everybody and their mother has talked nonstop about Spencer Jones.
Yankee prospects.
Yankee
prospects will suck.
Pitching prospects are good. It's the hitting prospects that have killed them. Judge has been the only good prospect the last.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Years.
Eric called me before we were talking about the Yankees. He's like, "Oh, we're going to bring this guy back." And he's like, "Well, what about the Met prospects?" I'm like, well, we're not talking about the Mets, but if you really want me to bring up the Mets, I could bring up Pete Alonso. I could bring up Brandon Nimmo. I could bring up Mark Vientos being the best hitter in the playoffs last year. I could bring up Met prospects have done, just as good, not even close, as the Yankees' everyday players other than Judge. It's not even close. Now, you want to get Ben Rice's flowers this year? Yes. Here was the problem with Ben Rice. Ben Rice looked very overmatched in this playoff. That you saw it firsthand. He looked very overmatched, and he stopped playing. He stopped playing. They were going to Goldschmidt more.
Yes.
Towards the end in the game 4 yesterday, they went to Goldschmidt because, with Rice, it's like, all right, because I don't like Austin Wells. I thought Austin Wells had one of the absolute worst at bats yesterday. You had the bases loaded. The guy just got walked. And on the first pitch, and I'm like, have a clue. Like, you got to read the room, dude. I'm like, you got to read the room.
The crowd was going crazy.
He got walked, and he hit a lazy 5-1-11. And I'm like, that was their chance. I said that was their chance. Because now what's going to happen is the bomb order just went through. So now Judge is going to come up in the ninth, but there's going to be probably nobody on base. That's so it defeats the purpose of what you're expecting. Now Judge, was able to. He got a run yesterday. He
had a good series.
Judge this is not an
Aaron. Had a great series.
And
actually.
You know what? I with the Yankees, you know me. I like Aaron Judge, and I like Aaron Judge. I like Aaron Judge because of how he. I like Aaron Judge because of how he goes about the business of the way he is with the media, with his teammates, with the fan base. Like he really, like when you hear how he is, right, with the media, he wants to win, right? He wants, he really, really wants to win. I would say the next closest guy in New York, obviously Lindor is the same type of guy, but he's not even close to the player or has the winning history that Judge has had. But
there's only one superstar. He's a superstar.
There's only one guy. There's only one other superstar, I think, in New York, and that's the closest to him is Jalen Brunson in the NBA. Jalen Brunson goes about his business as the face of New York, the Knicks. Just like I think being the face of the Knicks and being the face of the Yankees are two of the absolute biggest juggernaut jobs that you have to take on in this media, because the two most popular teams in this town are the Knicks and the Yankees, and both of them have had success. Judge got to a World Series last year. Jalen Brunson got to the conference finals, but they've never won a championship. But when you see the two of them, you hear how they are about their teammates, about the fan base, about how they go about their business. And here's the thing, just like Aaron Judge, Jalen Brunson is also a very likable guy. People around the NBA like him. People around Major League Baseball like Aaron Judge because I know people hate New York. We know that. But Aaron Judge is somebody you really want to root for. Like Jalen Brunson is somebody you really want to root for. And they've come close, but it's like, what's it going to do to get them over the top? And again, I bring up the strike situation because is what the Yankees going to do? Is it going to be enough? Is bringing Chisholm and Bellinger and hanging your head on Garrett Cole coming back going to be enough for them to win a World Series? I don't know. I'm not sure because, that's the thing, because Toronto spends money. Toronto is going to be in the market for guys. Toronto is getting better. I think Bichette will come back to Toronto. I do. I look at, to me, Seattle. Can Seattle sustain this? They have to, Seattle's got a big free agent in Josh Naylor. They have to re-sign Naylor, but they have the pitching staff. Seattle. Can they sustain this? They got to get through tomorrow. They might lose the screwball at home.
Look, baseball now. Look, let's look at it. Baseball nowadays is a 162 game season, and then you get to the playoffs, and you have to get through 4 rounds. So the odds of the best team winning the World Series is always very slim. First of all, the wild card round with three games, any hitter can get cold in a 3-game series. So there's no guarantee just because you're the most talented team that you're going to actually win.
Just really quickly, 2 stories just came out. Speedy, this will interest you. Jalen Carter is out tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles, their top defensive tackle. So he's out tonight. And I don't want to laugh at this. I don't, but I cannot stand him. Paul Pierce was arrested for a DUI.
Wow.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh at it. I don't. He was arrested for DUI. He was found sleeping in his car on the side of the road. And I'm
that's responsible. Then that's not a problem.
Yeah, but he was driving probably.
All right, but he said, I'm not. All right, but he's pulled over. He said, I'm not doing well, and he went to sleep. That's better than crashing into a light pole, but I get it.
If you're curious, I'll do this quickly before we get to our football picks. They have the top 10 spots for Cody Bellinger. 10 is the Royals. 9 is the Tigers. 8 is the Cubs. 7 is the Dodgers. 6 is the Mariners. 5 is the Mets. 4 is Diamondbacks. 3 is the Phillies. That's just what the Phillies need to sign another big contract. 2 is the Giants. I could see the Giants.
What's 1?
And 1 is the Yankees. Man, all of a sudden the Phillies are like the greatest defensive team ever on the planet now. That's wild.
It's all short series.
But it is. But to me, I mean, we'll touch on this more. I know we got to get to our picks, and I want to get to the Giannis rumors. But we'll start with the Giannis rumors first. But again, capping off with the Yankees, we'll see how they go about it. But their season is, and MLB's. Listen, they wanted that Game 5 tomorrow. They wanted that Game 5 because you were gonna have Yankees Toronto, and you were gonna have screwball in a Game 5 tomorrow against Seattle. So they wanted that. And if you could get the Dodgers Phillies to go to a Game 5 with Ohtani pitching on Saturday, and if the Cubs can somehow bring it out tonight, MLB still needs the Dodgers, I think, in this postseason to have any sort of rating at this point. The Yankees were their big goose, and then they lost it. But listen, like I said, we have all offseason to talk about it.
I don't want to get, but not only did they lose, but all the games were bad. Like they were bad.
Yeah, I mean, no, Game 3 was good. Game 3 was fun. That went back and forth. I thought it was fun. Yesterday's was kind of a lull.
It was a bad game.
I mean, games 1, 2 were just blowouts. It was just ugly. It was bad. And this is not an Aaron Boone. And listen, Yankee fans, Aaron Boone is not getting fired. Brian Cashman is not getting fired. These are not happening. We need to get off the schneid with that whole thing. And if Aaron Boone were to get fired, there'll be 10 teams lining up for him to be the manager of their team. That's the reality of it. So if you're going to do this, be forewarned that whoever you replace him with, and no, they're not replacing him with Don Mattingly and everything like that. Oh, that's an interesting. Did you see that one that just came out?
No, what popped up?
So Evan just texted. Apparently, according to multiple reports that have been confirmed, Eric Chavez tried to change Juan Soto's approach at the plate.
Well,
that's what? Why would you? Hold on, Speedy. You don't have to come on the screen, but what are your thoughts on that one, Speedy?
Not surprising. Eric Chavez.
That's all you say is not surprising.
You should have fired him. That doesn't help.
I mean, why would
he probably went, look, Juan, look, I could get you a lot of money. Just hit more. If you could only hit a little more, you could get big money in this league. Like, how do you approach to Juan Soto?
We are all aware that Eric Chavez was like a career 240 hitter, right? Like, we are all.
Yes. And he was supposed to be a great player. Mm-hmm. He was a disappointing player.
Yeah.
It's not like he was supposed, like he was disappointing. He was supposed to be a really good ball player. So he underachieved.
Oh, he definitely underachieved. Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, he was on that Oakland team that was up 2-0 on the Yankees, and they blew the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an error by Boone. See what I said? I say one thing and Boone makes an error. Whoops.
It's all going to come out now. All these Yankee coaching nonsense.
100%. But everybody's confirming it too. And the truth is that should have been the least of the priorities for Eric Chavez is changing one.
He probably
Why would you change his approach at the plate? He's got the best eye in baseball.
He wanted him to bunt more. He wanted to be a better bunter.
I give Juan Soto still had one of his best offensive seasons of his career, despite Eric Chavez's stupidity.
Yeah.
That's the impressive thing about this whole thing. Kudos to you, Juan. I'm just saying. If you didn't see the reports, Giannis Antetokounmpo came out. The reports came out from Shams Charania the other day, around 8 o'clock in the morning, that there was only one team that Giannis was willing to go to this offseason, and that was the New York Knicks. Now the question was going to be the Knicks, and the report that the Knicks didn't take the Bucks seriously. The Bucks didn't take the Knicks seriously because the Bucks said we don't really want to trade him. But the Bucks called the Knicks, but the Bucks said we don't really want to trade him. So if I'm Leon Resnick, so why are you calling me then? To my knowledge, from what I've heard, is now Giannis has no leverage, right? Because he's got 2 years remaining. Next year, when he's got 1 year remaining, Giannis will then say to the Bucks, I have leverage now because I'm not going to sign an extension with any team you trade me to. So if you want to go that route, but I will tell you this. I think Giannis has been a great soldier for that organization. He won them a championship. He's won MVPs. I think if I'm Giannis, I would have been like, now Giannis yesterday at training camp came in and said, I'm here for my teammates. I'm here for the organization, but my mind could change. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Yeah. And now the Knicks traded a lot of draft picks in the Mikal Bridges trade, but if you look at it, when the Knicks signed Bridges, it was, I believe it was pre-July 1st, so they could trade him at the deadline if they needed to. That, not that that's going to happen. Now there's two things that we could go about with the Knicks, and you laugh.
I want to hear it. I did not want you to go. I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you reel it out.
Okay.
Go.
So either the Knicks are going to be unbelievable, which I think they will be. I think you and I both are in agreement that they will be.
They're going to be very good.
And I think they're winning the finals this year. Actually,
okay. I think they should.
Especially getting Clarkson, Yabusele, and investing in the bench this year helped them.
Yeah.
So either they're going to be amazing, or it's going to be tough sledding. They'll get through it, but the wins are going to be like, there's something missing, and they'll trade for Giannis. That I
this
think
year. For next year.
At the deadline. No, at the deadline.
This year at the deadline.
At the deadline. Yes.
Okay, I'm interested. So give me the scenario. Give me the trade.
I did. Well, so then the trade would have to be, obviously, you're going to have to either put OG or Mikal Bridges in the deal. I would prefer to trade Bridges over Anunoby, but that's just me.
Okay, keep going.
Josh Hart, they have their first rounder, I think next year, I think it is. You have to go Deuce McBride and either whoever they have of Kolick or Dottie. That's just because here's the thing: if Giannis now again,
are you kidding me?
No. But what I'm telling you is this: I think Giannis is going to be a Knick. If it's not at the deadline, it's going to be next year.
They're getting a big man back. In this deal, they're getting one of the two big men back.
I forgot to add Robinson. Robinson would be in the deal too. But the thing is, Robinson doesn't make as much sense now as you think it does because they just signed Miles Turner. Miles Turner's the center. So they just signed Turner to a 5-year deal. So I don't know if Robinson really makes any sense now. Now I would say if you get Giannis, you trade all those guys, maybe you trade Robinson to another team and get depth pieces back and try to fill it that way. But I think Giannis is going to be a Knick next year. That is what I do think is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen next year, I'd be surprised.
I think the other center goes in the deal if they make a trade.
Who? Turner?
No,
Huck Porty?
No, just what you want to call
Towns?
it?
Towns?
Yeah, Towns goes.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. I would say they might do Bridges over Towns. They might go that route.
No, because you can't. You don't need both of it. You've got Robertson. You trade Towns. You got the guy.
I mean, honestly,
you don't need all these. You don't
trade,
need 2 big man shooters on the lineup.
No,
you don't need it.
You could get. I mean, you could trade. And again, it's not me lowballing. I mean, what I'm giving them is I'm giving them Mikal Bridges, I'm giving them Hart, I'm giving them McBride, I'm giving them a first-round pick.
You're giving them nothing. You're giving them one player.
Yeah, for a guy that's 33 years old, 32 years old.
Yeah,
still
big deal.
And
you want
it is a big deal because I mean that's well. Here's the reality: if he tells the Bucks, I'm only willing to sign an extension with the Knicks, and I don't want to be here anymore, then yeah, I'm trading him.
I mean, Towns goes.
I mean, really quickly before you continue, do you remember the Carmelo Anthony saga? Do you remember the New Jersey Nets were offering a much better package than the Knicks were? But
with Denver, you mean
with Denver, the Nets were offering a massive haul, and Carmelo said, "I'm not signing with the Nets." And he said, "I will only do the Knicks." And that's it. And the Knicks, and I remember at the time, everybody was like, "Oh, wow, the Nuggets. Well, it might be a good trade for the Nuggets, but wow, the Nuggets got hosed. They got hosed. They got Gallinari, and they got Chandler, and they got Raymond Felton. It's like they got hosed in the deal for Carmelo Anthony. If a guy says I'll only go to this team, and that's it, he's putting the organization in a position where Milwaukee's just going to have to be on a rebuild, and they're going to have to take what's given to them. And maybe you build a team around a Bridges or an Anunoby, and you build it around a Miles Turner. That's the way the NBA is now. That's the way the NBA. Yes. If a player says if a player says I will not go to another organization, this is the only one I'm giving, and that's it. Why do you think?
I'm giving it Dallas.
The Bucks. No. But why do you think the Bucks only talk to the Knicks this offseason? Because Giannis said that's the only team I'm willing to go to. And the Bucks gave an exclusive window for 2 weeks to the Knicks. Because the Bucks know, the Bucks know, yeah, he's not going to want it. He won't go anywhere else, and he won't sign an extension. So the other team's not going to trade X, Y, and Z. Like, we're not getting a great haul back, but we're still getting
one young player. You got OG, who's great defensively. Defensively, right?
You get Anunoby, and you get McBride.
And McBride, who's a 6-man, right? 6-man, a young guy, but he's a 6-man.
But again, this is just the foundation. Yeah, but listen,
and you get Josh Hart, who's really a bench guy who should be the first guy off the bench. It's nothing. You're getting garbage. You're getting one player back. It doesn't work.
But unfortunately, I mean, unless they go a 3-team deal, they have a 3-team deal.
They're going to get a big scorer out of it,
or they get another team involved. Maybe they get a third team involved, or they get they go that route and they do that, and they get Sacramento involved. Maybe they get them involved or something. And we're not gonna be able to get to our picks this week. We're over the time. I know that, but that's all right. What do you want to do a game or two? You want to do one game?
I'll do a pick. Give me a pick. Give me a game.
Speedy, give my dad a game. He wants a game.
Give me a game.
Give him a game, Speedy. Give him a game.
All right. Let's give.
Do 2 games. Wait, what time do we have till, Speedy? What time do we have till?
Do you want to just pick one game and then do your picks. Then do your last segment because we're at 7 right now.
All right, yeah. So we'll do one game. So you want to pick the game, Speedy? Pick the game.
All right, let's go with.
And don't be the Packers, please.
It will not be the Packers. They're playing Jake Browning and the Bengals. I'm not going to pick the Packers. All right, let's go with the.
We thought that last week against the Browns, and they lost that game. Don't say that, Speedy.
That's right. He could beat. He's the only quarterback on 2 different teams that could beat them twice in 1 year.
That's right. Think about that. Think about
let's go with your mom's team, the 49ers. They're taking on the Buccaneers. Bucks are 3-point favorites.
That's an interesting one because isn't Jones now? Mac Jones is going to play, but he's not 100% healthy, right?
They're playing. Where are they playing it?
At Tampa.
Isn't it? Is Matt Jones healthy or he's not healthy? Right? He's going to play, but he's not 100%.
No.
That's interesting. 3-point favorites. I mean, Baker Mayfield's the MVP of the league right now. I mean, he's the MVP. What he did in Seattle last year was unbelievable. So without his 2 receivers, his top running back, and also not to mention to go on the road on the West Coast and do that is really impressive that he was able to do that and win the game. I'm going to take Tampa in this one. I like where they're headed. They're a player in the NFC. When they get Godwin and Evans and Irving back, that team is good. And I can't believe I'm saying about Todd Bowles' team. I can't believe it.
You got 2 banged up teams. Well, I can't go. My wife's watching downstairs. I ain't gonna mess around with this thing. Why do you pick that game? I'll take. That's tough. I really think Tampa will win the game, but I'm going to take San Francisco. The line is very low. Why is the line so light? 3 points seems pretty light. It should be like 4.5.
It's all the injuries.
Yeah, but both teams. Yeah. I mean,
it's all the injuries. That's what it comes down to. It's really, I mean.
3 points is like the home field advantage.
Here's the question. Are the Jets going to win this week?
Who are they playing? Doesn't matter. Who?
Denver and London.
Do you know anybody who's going to the game first of all? Is any crazy friends going this game? I know you have Lyle or whatever. Okay.
No. Lyle's going back. Lyle's going back to Manchester later in a few months. Matt's in Italy right now.
For sure.
So,
the Jets lose.
Can I be honest with you? I'm calling it now. I don't know if the Jets are going to win a game this year.
The Fields thing was a disaster. He's just a bad quarterback.
No, but they had to do it. But it's not. It's the defense. Defense is so bad. The defense.
They should have traded for Green Bay's backup quarterback, man.
I said this. It's not. No, they're not trading. No, stop.
They should have. They're not doing it. I'm saying that, but they should have got Willis.
No,
Willis is a good quarterback.
Oh my God. Okay, we're done here.
He's a good quarterback.
The Jets have the 32nd ranked defense in football. Stop. It's literally the Jets. Here's what the Jets need to do. Other than Garrett Wilson and the two tackles, they need to trade everybody. Trade the running back. Trade the corner.
Stop.
Trey Williams. No,
you're just such a Jets fan. This is the dumbest stuff.
No, because here's what they need to do. No, because the Lions got rid of the old stench from past regimes.
Yeah.
And they grabbed a bunch of draft picks, and what they did was they built it the way that Campbell wanted to build it. And that's
but what works for Team A won't necessarily work for Team B.
I understand that, but this is what it is. You need to do it this way. You need to get the stench out of here. Guys like Gardner, Quentin Williams, Breece Hall, get rid of them, trade them, get as many draft picks as possible, do it, and build it through the draft.
These guys are like young guys. Josh Gardner is like, was he a 4-year vet?
He's first off, he's overrated. He's overrated. I wasn't even.
He is overrated.
I was not there with the contract at the time. I would have traded him. Garrett Wilson, I wanted them to keep. Him, I did not want them to keep because I said he's overrated, and he's showing it this year. But anyway, it is now time for your better than that segment. Of course, I don't know who wants to start. Speedy, do you want to start first?
Yeah, I'll go with the whole Bill Belichick saga. He might even have to be bought out at this point with everything that's going on.
That is what I heard.
Really bad. So, Bill Belichick, North Carolina, you're better than that.
Dad, what's yours?
I'm going with the Mets. That a team fires every coach on the staff except the manager.
It's like my dream.
How do you fire every coach on the staff except the guy in charge of all the coaches? And
well,
then
because he inherited those guys.
Yes, but he had him for 2 years. So I mean,
but how do you know he wanted them? How do you know he wanted Eric Chavez or Hefner or those guys? How do you know?
Because after the first season of making the playoffs, he had some pull and he could have done something if he felt that way. He made the playoffs the first year, made the American National League Championship Series, and he had pull, and he goes, I don't want this guy back, and I don't want this guy back. And he could have done it. Yeah. So because he didn't say anything, he's the manager. He takes it. He should have been fired along with all of them. He stinks.
Well, I mean, I view it like this. I don't think a GM should be picking the coaches. I think the manager should be picking his coaches or her coaches. That's how I think it should work. Because the manager,
look at you.
The manager doesn't pick who the GM gets to work with any scouts. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, the manager is with those guys or those girls every day, 162 games a year, game planning, and with them every day. Sometimes the GM isn't even at the games.
The manager doesn't even manage a team.
Well, after what Derek Jeter said yesterday about the Yankees, basically saying that if we think Aaron Boone's managing this team all the time, then you're lost. That's not going to help.
Right.
Derek Jeter, going back to Old Timers Day, and everything like that. I'm just throwing it out there. That was a bad look for the Yankees yesterday.
But that's all teams now.
My, you're better than that. I mean, it's John Smoltz. I mean, he doesn't shut up. He doesn't let the game breathe. Like he just doesn't.
No Eduardo Perez. He's no Eduardo Perez.
Oh! If I hear Eduardo Perez, tell me one more time that. Oh my God! If freaking, I forget who in the wild card round that he thinks that Luke Weaver's finding himself. And he gets blasted again. I'm going to step. And this is why he was not hired as the Met manager.
Man. What a disaster that would have been. It would have mattered.
God, he is the worst. But seriously, John Smoltz is so bad. Tom Brady is so bad. Fox is in disarray with their analysts. It's horrible. I feel bad for Kevin Burkhardt because he's got to work with Brady every week. I mean, that's a nightmare in itself. But Fox, I mean, you're better than that. Seriously. I mean, what happened to, I now, and I used to make fun of him. I appreciate him now. I appreciate Tim McCarver now. Tim McCarver was great. He was great. I appreciate Tim. I used to make fun of him all the time because he'd be late to things. I appreciate Tim McCarver now. I appreciate that.
I'm getting sick of I am sick of Keith Hernandez.
Oh my God!
There.
All right.
I'm sick of it.
Well, this is the end of that show. The Dad, any last words before we go?
Yeah, I'm sick of Keith Hernandez.
All right. Speedy, anything before you start your show in about 20 minutes?
I'm not sick of Keith Hernandez.
Neither am I. I think he's wonderful. I think it's fine. I love Haji. Well,
he's a delight. Check
us out at worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can check out, of course, 103.9 FM on Saturday, 7 o'clock with the Weekend Crunch I filled in last week. Arrow's back this week with him and Speedy. Of course, Shot by the Mouth with, of course, Arrow, Speedy, Aaron Fishman, Jabba Chamberlain. That's going to be interesting tonight. Tommy Scoops, or Poops as they call him. That'll be interesting tonight. That'll be tonight. What Jabba says about the Yankees. Must watch. I will say that. It's going to be great. And, of course, Snowman in the mornings, everything like that. It's going to be good. So, yeah. But, Dad, thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. It was awesome.
See you later, guys.
As always, thank you so much. Thank you for listening and watching us here on Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Let's hope for some Game 5s this weekend, and we hope the Phillies do lose. I'll take a Game 5 and a Philly loss in Philadelphia. That would be tremendous. That would just be icing on the cake because those fans are relentless and obnoxious. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one, everybody. This has been Game On Live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.